All right, good morning. I am Andy Geniak, the principal of West Hills Middle School. On behalf, don't y'all do that to me, don't y'all do that to me. On behalf of our faculty and staff, I have the distinct pleasure and honor of welcoming you to the final 8th grade recognition ceremony. At this time, I'd like to invite our 8th grade leadership students to the stage to lead us in the Pledge of Allegiance.
Please stand for the pledge. I pledge allegiance
to the flag of the United States of America and to the republic for which it stands, one nation, under God, indivisible, with liberty and justice for all.
Thank you, Leadership Club. I'm just going to hold this thing. As you can see on the table beside me, Paulina Hakopian and Natalie Finnerty had the incredible idea of how to commemorate the final year of West Hills. This banner captures the names of all of the students and staff that filled the hallways of West Hills during the final year. The students' names are listed through all of the letters in West Hills, and all staff members are listed in the numbers there. This banner will be hung on the side wall of the cafeteria as this becomes Lone Pine Elementary. So I joked with the students, they may be in hopefully more like 15, 20 years, 20, 30 years. They'll be bringing their kindergartners here and showing their children their name on the banner as being a part of the last West Hills class. So thank you, Paulina and Natalie. I don't know that either one of them are in this room, but a nice round of applause for their idea. So I begin with many thank yous, as this morning's event does not happen without the support and love of so many people. I have to begin by thanking a remarkable person who seems to find her way to every important event in the district and always hates when I thank her. Vicki Chandler, our district media coordinator, has taken, yes, thank you, Vicki. She consistently takes the pressure off of all of us as she is working her magic recording this ceremony. We thank her very much for her appreciated service. As you look down at your program describing this morning's ceremony, it leads me to thank Mrs. Jones for her work in coordinating and preparing this year's program. Mrs. Capicato and Mrs. Jones play a crucial role in our school. And I got to check, is Mrs. Stephen here by chance? She's going to be really mad at me if she is. Okay, I don't see her, but she was maybe going to try to pop in. Additionally, Mrs. Stephen, our former building secretary, is here with us in spirit. They are the planners, nurses, greeters, sometimes moms, to the students and the staff, frankly, and the two people who handle so much of the day-to-day logistics. They have truly been the go-to caretakers of your children for the past 5 years. We couldn't be successful without them, and I am thankful they are part of the West Hills team. So thank you. And Mrs. Jones right there. Thank you, Mrs. Jones, for all that you have done. And while I know she will not appreciate me doing this, I want to take a moment to thank Kathy Sanders, 8th grade parent, and our kitchen leader here at West Hills. This past week, Kathy, dipping into her own pocket, prepared and presented every 8th grade student with a gift from her. This shows the deep relationships and love she has developed for all of your children. Thank you, Kathy. I wanted to be sure to acknowledge and thank our PTO and families, namely the president, Jamie Ben. The role of the PTO, all right, Jamie Ben. The role of the PTO is to support and enhance the students' experiences throughout the school year. We can honestly say that experiences were enhanced as evidenced by this week's fun-filled 8th grade party at Paradise Park. While the monsoon and hail tried to prevent us from enjoying the night, we persevered, and it was an evening to remember and thankfully all the students survived the go-kart rides. I want to take a moment to recognize Jamie Ben, Carol Ben Ezra, and Karen Kaplan, and all the parent volunteers for organizing and overseeing such a special event. And what each of our 8th grade families has done to help these 101 8th grade students succeed over their West Hills years is nothing short of remarkable. This class was robbed of their 5th grade recognition ceremony when COVID hit. Over their 3 middle school years, they learned to Zoom or Google Meet, adjust to new schedules, and adapt to rapid changes. Through these 3 years of middle school, our students showed grit, and it would not have been possible without the support of their families. At this time, I invite our staff and our students to stand up, face the audience, and show your loved ones how much you appreciate them. Give them a nice... No, this is students. You're clapping for your families right now. Put it together for your families. There we go. I know we didn't rehearse that part, so that was a little weird. Like, yeah, you're supposed to clap for your families. Thank you for all that you have done. This 8th grade year was kind of the return to normal, or at least the new normal. We have had the blessing at West Hills of having a staff focused on high expectations and deep relationships. I'm going to make them stand up as I call their names, and they're not going to like me for that, but hey, I'm not with them next year, so what can they do to me, right? I must thank our 8th grade teachers, Mrs. Van Gemmer. Stay standing, Mrs. Van Gemmer. Mr. Purdy. Mr. Harrington. And Mr. Burkholz. Stay standing, please. Our counselor, Ms. Schlenker. And our electives and unified arts staff, Mr. Erdy, Mrs. Lucas, Mrs. Pierre, Senor Solis, Madame Potier, Mrs. Bouchan, she's over there, Mr. Basidlo, and Mr. Smith, as well as our support teachers, Mrs. Watisha, Miss Mueller, Mrs. Carlson, Mrs. Natsky, Mrs. Heatherly, Mrs. Eller, and Mrs. Cunningham. Any other teachers that I may have missed that are in here right now, please stand as well as our incredible paraeducators. Would you please stand up as well? The relationships and expertise you bring to your work has challenged our students to think critically about the world around them. The opportunities, kids are still talking about the Civil War reenactment, egg drop, and field day. This year were only possible due to the efforts of our dedicated staff. The amount of care and love these people show to your children is immense, and for that I am forever grateful. We thank you, West Hills staff, and I invite our guests to show their appreciation once again for each of you. Now you can be seated. Thank you. Gosh, that really helped me making you guys stand. That got me through another paragraph. All right. Finally, I must thank this is going to get me, my administrative partner, Mr. Dureka. I'm gonna play a little bit that will help me laugh, therefore I won't cry. It's kind of like my work husband here. So while Rob and I took a break for 1.5 years so that he could get a good taste of retirement, when he was asked to partner with me for the final year of West Hills, I was thankful he said yes. I know all of you were too, I do know that. He called himself a helper all year, but we know that he goes way beyond being just a helper. He is a true leader, champion of students, and an amazing human being. Thanks for saying yes, Rob. It was the best. Last summer, when I found out Melissa Palmieri was moving over to BHMS, and I thought I might be sailing the ship at the head by myself. Lots of sleepless nights. My boss called me and he said, I got some news for you. And he told me that Rob had said yes. And I called my wife. I'm like, what would be the best possible scenario? She's like Rob would come back, but there's no way he's doing that. I was like, they got him. So thank you, Rob. As I thought about what I'd like to say to our students here on June 16th, I had such a wide range of emotions. I know, surprise, surprise. And thoughts flowed through my mind. Looking out at this fine group of young men and women, I can't help but see the 9-year-olds that came to us years ago. These little 4th graders who celebrated things like field day and carnival and bounce houses, to the high school students that they have now become. We traveled to DC together just a few months ago, and that solidified it for me. They looked after one another. We dined together. We provided each other a shoulder to lean on when needed. We are wrapping up West Hills with a group that truly has character and will make a positive impact on the world around them. I am filled with pride knowing that we got to be a part of your journey. Yesterday, I asked the 8th grade teachers for a little help. I knew I'd be incredibly emotional today, not only because of it being the last day of West Hills, but having to say goodbye to this talented and endearing crew of young adults. I was hoping that if the 8th grade teachers had students share their thoughts, that it might help me make it through the speech. It also would help to validate that we have done our job preparing these adolescents for high school and beyond. So here we go. The prompt was, what is one thing that being a student and a part of the West Hills community has taught you? I was totally prepared, by the way. Yeah. And water, there we go. I read all of the students' responses and wanted to share a sampling of them as the themes were repeated over and over. One thing I learned was you are never better than anyone else, no matter what. These might get me. This is not helping me, guys. I learned to be inclusive and to accept anyone, no matter their race, intelligence, popularity, or anything they can't control. West Hills has taught me to be a confident, kind, caring, friendly student, and WHMS has given me friendships I will cherish forever. Caring for someone or multiple people other than yourself. West Hills has taught me to be the best version of myself. I need to be kind, work hard, take responsibility, and be a good person. I learned how to be a better time manager. I'm sure some of you are out there thinking, yeah, right, I've seen it. I've seen it at home. But it has. It has taught me to be fun. That it is okay to be different from others. It has taught me that there's always someone there for you. That's a good one. That's really good stuff, guys. These statements really made me think of my high school's motto, teach me goodness, discipline, and knowledge. One of the most powerful things I've ever heard in my life came at my high school graduation, when one of my most respected teachers shared with our graduating class that these words, goodness, discipline, and knowledge, are listed in that order for a reason. Knowledge is crucial, discipline is important, but without goodness, what really do you have? As an educator and a leader, I keep those words at the forefront of my thinking when I measure the success of our mission at West Hills. Students, based on your responses yesterday to that prompt, I know and feel in my heart that we, your families, and our West Hills staff, and anyone else who has influenced you in your life thus far, are well on our way to doing our job. You all get it. Working hard, taking care of one another, showing kindness, and being a good human being are the skills that will propel you to success. Stay hyper-focused on those traits, and high school will produce incredible opportunities and achievements for each and every one of you. Students, our West Hills community is so proud of the young men and women you have become, and we are incredibly excited to see what your high school years will bring. It's now time to celebrate the many accomplishments you have had, and to start us out, is a fill-in for our amazing art teacher, Miss Bouchon, with Mr. Burkholz.
Thank you, Mr. Geniak. I am filling in for Ms. Bouchon for some art awards. So Ms. Bouchon said the following students had their unique, well-executed, impressive artistic skills highlighted as Bloomfield Hills Schools showcased outstanding student work in our annual district-wide student art exhibition at the Bloomfield Township Public Library, Art from the Hills. And students, just like we practiced yesterday, as I read your name, please stand and face the audience. Audience, we're going to ask that you hold your applause until the names have been read. Dianksha Vishnu Sundaram, Sasha Shepard, Celeste Baker, Maddie Buttrell. Again, stand, remain standing, and facing the audience. Maddie Buttrell, Juliana Owens, Christiana Karditsas, Luis Lessman, Sophia Terabisi, Haley Sanders, Simone Jasger, Luna Badir, and Hannah Becker. And the following students helped create large-scale murals titled Our Natural World as a collaborative project along with the Birmingham Public Schools that were unveiled at the Baldwin Public Library during the Birmingham Winter Market in December. Again, please stand and face the audience. Luna Badir, Maddie Buttrell, Channing Spencer, and Matthias Minelli. And I will now turn it over to Mrs. Pierre for drama recognition.
We have had a busy week, folks. I'm Mrs. Pierre, and I'm the choir and drama teacher here at West Hills. We had a choir concert with like 150 kids and a bunch of parents and families, and then we had a couple of musicals, so it has been a busy week, and it's truly been a team effort. I wanted to start, I'm going to kind of flip the order and start with recognizing choir students. So please stand if you were part of the 8th grade choir this year, and I'd love to give you a round of applause. Thank you, thank you. Thank you. You may have a seat. 60 of these souls stuck with me, stuck with choir, all the way through middle school. That's kind of amazing. And I feel very blessed and gifted to have that opportunity. So it's an amazing feat. And I just hope that when I see them all again, because I'm at the high school frequently, because I have children of my own there, that it's a happy, hey, Mrs. Pierre, not a hey, Mrs. Pierre. So I hope it's always a smile and a wave. From the Unsung Heroes concert we did in the fall to Bloomfield Hills Sings with East Hills, BH Middle School and Mrs. Riley, and the Bloomfield Hills High School singers to the end of our year concert this last Monday. I'm really going to miss singing with this group of kids. Having them gather around the piano as sopranos or altos or tenors or baritones and some basses, soon to be basses, from when they were 6th graders of sopranos and altos. So this is a really cool group. And seeing their faces light up when like a song would just go correctly. Like there was one song that we did at Bloomfield Sings that my tenors and basses or baritones would always be like, yeah, that was good. Keep your lamps. And they would get so excited. And it was just lovely to see them appreciate music the way that I do as well. So I'm gonna miss that, but also families, this is a group of kids that have an incredibly diverse music playlist. Like if you look at their Spotifys, just wonderful, the width and breadth of their experiences through music. So I hope you all continue to use music as a way to connect and celebrate life with those around you. It's such a part of who they are. This is your strength, and this is going to be a dear memory that I will have of you all. I do have one specific award to give today, though. The Choral Directors Award. It's reserved for an outstanding member of our ensemble. This year I had a student choose to rehearse and practice for our district solo vocal music competition with their vocal coach and me. That's a big deal. It's quite the dedication to have 2 folks helping them. The student practiced 2 selections from our MSVMA, Michigan School Vocal Music Association repertoire list, and received a top score superior rating at competition. Also agreeing at the same time to sing at a Bloomfield Hills hockey varsity hockey event and sing the national anthem as an 8th grader. That's kind of a big deal. I've had the pleasure of witnessing the student progress and grow over the past 3 years, gaining confidence, demonstrating risk-taking, choosing to creatively or show their creative musical self willingly, freely. The student has always been a leader and a shining star in my classroom, and I am just so proud to have heard her sing this last Monday at our final concert. She received a standing ovation at the concert, and I know many of us were brought to tears, us two included, because of her rendition of Hallelujah. I truly, truly hope that this student keeps singing. Please keep singing. Please keep sharing your musical soul with the universe. Your voice is a gift. Your incredibly humble, positive self is so deserving of all the accolades. So just remember to invite me when you're singing on Broadway, or text me when you get your first Grammy, because I know you will go far. It's my pleasure to announce the Choral Directors Award goes to Lily Novetsky. Thank you, Lily. Always, I'm gonna follow this kid. I need social media. I get to follow you now that you're not my student anymore. Okay. I have to stay in touch with them. Come on. Okay. Forensics. I'm also the forensics coach, and our West Hills forensics team is a competitive team. We have 2 seasons, 10 weeks each in length. Students dedicate a practice time each week to meeting with me or one of my coaches to practice their public speaking or dramatic piece. This group of students each season becomes kind of their own crew, and they cheer each other on at competition. After not competing in person, like being on Zoom for competition since November of 2019, thank you, COVID, we were not sure how this season in the spring would go, but the team excelled. This year, 90% of our team placed in the semifinals and the finals of the state tournament. And I want to take a moment to brag about our only 8th grader on the team this year. And this student took the initiative to write their own piece and then perform it. That's a double assignment as a forensic student. Remember, this is a club, but there's writing and there's text and there's literature, and then there's the presentation piece. And this student just eagerly jumped into this opportunity. When the final awards were tallied, the student received not 1, but 2 100s. That means out of the 3 rounds of competition, this student placed first in 2 of the 3 rounds, and then the other round placed second. That's a big deal. We're talking out of the entire state of Michigan. So they achieved the first place award for original interpretation in the entire state. It's a pleasure to be this person's coach, and I just hope you keep singing, acting, dancing at IA and beyond. We are always here for you, whatever you need. The world is a better and a kinder place because of this soul. Please stand and be recognized. Congratulations goes to D.U. Vishnu Sundaram. DU, on behalf of Coach Mullen and I, we're so proud of you. And just please, the door is always open. We want you to come back and visit and be a part of our forever forensics family. Okay, moving on to play and musical. This year I was also the play director. Our 8th grade play was called Employees Must Wash Hands Before Murder by Don Zalitas. Just a lighthearted murder mystery, no big deal, that takes place in a less than ideal budget restaurant. If you were a part of the 8th grade play first semester, both sections, please stand to be recognized for your silly selves. Well done, well done. Look at all these artistic kids. It's so cool, isn't it? I love it. As you move on to high school, I wanted to leave you with some life lessons from our play. Because, we had some profound stuff. We had a singing tapeworm, right? 1, I know you've learned about gravity, but Torok reminded us that this here is the floor, and the floor is what keeps us from falling into earth. Please tell me you didn't believe that, please. 2, over the summer and for the rest of your life, before you do anything, something or anything questionable, please ask yourself this question: will someone sue me? Because remember, Torok had to do that. 3, when your family says, I love you, son, please don't say that's nice, I love burgers. Take time to tell them you love them back. 4, if you don't remember someone's name, do not say, from now on, you're going to be known as Brad. I know it seemed to work for Steve. Where's Adam and Brady? But I hope you take time to actually get to know them and remind them or ask them again. Wait, what's your name? Not Brad. Okay. Some of you might go on to study law, so I wanted to clear up one phrase and one vocabulary word from the show. Objection, not germane to the case. Wasn't that one of the Jackson 5? Well, yes and no. Germane Jackson has a J, and it was part of the Jackson 5, but I never defined the word germane with a G. It means not relevant to the current subject under consideration. It literally has bothered me, folks. I'm like, I never defined that with the kids. 6, be like Debbie and live and love boldly. Even Scabby still wanted to be friends. 7, there is a fairy of copyright infringement, so make sure your work is your own. Fairies of copyright infringement. And lastly, Squirmy the tapeworm wanted me to give you one last final reminder. Always wash your hands. Thank you for all being a part of the zaniest play I think I've ever done in the 23 years of teaching. I know we will never forget Squirmy the musical tapeworm. I know I won't. All right, moving on to my last. Oh, this one I'm going to get emotional. The musical. As we started the second semester musical drama class and I looked over the roster of students, to say I was thrilled is an understatement. This group of students, they're my dream team. They are. If you were in the 8th grade musical, please stand and be congratulated. We have athletes, we have artists, we have musicians, we have academics. I mean, gosh, this group. From day one, they fostered an energetic, inclusive, and positive environment for everyone to achieve, and that included me. Beauty and the Beast is my favorite musical. I didn't confess that to them till after they selected the show. I have very high expectations for the show because I adore it. I adore it. I always felt compelled to be better because of your kids. That's a rare feat for me. Okay. If I haven't told the students this information, I'm going to tell you now. Prior to being a teacher, I was a professional opera singer with the Roma Opera in Italy, and I would find moments of inspiration on the stage. You're up there performing, and there's a really good costume designer or the wig designer, and to get to do life with people like that professionally prior to being an educator is amazing, right? I had moments like that with this group. This group of souls inspired, created a place of inspiration while always striving to do their personal best. It was apparent from day one of auditions, this was going to be a really high quality show, even if things went kind of silly, that truly went above and beyond being just a class. This was an opportunity to be great together and learn bigger than something that can be even labeled as a grade. So as I leave you to go off to high school, I wanted to share some words of wisdom from our show. This class exemplified the tale as old as time, and that beauty is found within. I'm hoping this summer brings adventures in the great wide somewhere, and that I hope that the journey ahead holds so much more than you've got planned. And as you start your freshman year, there might be days when you say to yourself, and to think I complained of that dull provincial town, otherwise known as West Hills Middle School. We will always be here to say to you, cheer up, child. I know things may seem bleak right now, but you mustn't despair. We're here to see you through. Make sure to find yourself a cheerleader friend like LeFou or the Silly Girls who will remind you to pull yourself together, and make sure to know that everyone is awed and inspired by you, and it's not very hard to see why. Thinking is not a dangerous pastime, and if you make yourself presentable, be gentle, shower folks with compliments, be sincere, and control your temper, there's a very good chance that you may find home here too. So wait and see. There may be something there that wasn't there before, and remember that your West Hills home will always be where your heart is. What a joy to have been your teacher this semester, and thank you, musical drama families. I have to give a special shout out to one of my inspiration points, Roberta Traini and the Monelli family. Oh, grazie mille. There were so many, and they know from the program, there's so many families, but I had to give one just special shout out. I hope you know, families, how grateful and thankful I am for you, your support, and your children as well. Thank you so much for letting me be a small part of your day at West Hills. I hope you all visit me at South Hills. Best wishes, you all. Thank you. And I am going to turn this over to Mrs. Lucas for our band and orchestra awards.
Thank you, Ms. Spear. So I'd like to start off with a little note from Mr. Erdy, who couldn't be here today. Mr. Erdy wishes he could be here today to say congratulations and goodbye. He says you are a special group. Your creativity, spunk, dedication, and most of all, kindness will undoubtedly make you successful in whatever you do. I will miss each and every one of you. From Mr. Erdy. So it has been a journey, like Ms. Pierre was saying, trying to teach instruments on Zoom with 20-minute every other day classes was quite a feat, and we appreciate and love our 8th grade so much for being able to overcome the craziest obstacles. The band students had to play with these really weird masks with bell covers, and they very rarely complained, and it's a testament to just how resilient, amazing, intelligent these students are, and we know they're gonna go really, really far. So the first award that I would like to recognize is Solo and Ensemble. Students who choose to participate in optional solo and ensemble go above and beyond. They stay late after school, they work during lunchtime, they rehearse during class time, and they basically have to learn a piece relatively on their own and perform for a complete stranger, and then get rated in 5 different categories. Not scary, but really scary, right? And all of our students that went this year earned the top rating, the Division I rating. So I'd like to recognize those students right now. Lucas Oren Mitchell, please stand. Grant Moyer, Grayson Stricker, Sophia Terabesi, Eliza Mercado, Charlotte Louise Gaillard. Congratulations. Thank you. You may be seated. The second award, the next 2 are for band. Students have the opportunity to participate in honor bands, and this is something that they do outside. They have to learn a whole concert worth of music on their own. They have a full day. It's just one day. It's a very intense day where they have like 2 or 3 rehearsals, maybe 5 to 6 hours total, and they basically have to play in an ensemble with people from all over Metro Detroit, middle schoolers that they've never met before, under a new conductor. So they have to have high-level skills, they have to be able to focus and concentrate intensely, they have to make really quick adaptations, and then retain all of this information getting thrown at them, and then not have mental fatigue at the end of the day because they have to perform a concert for the parents in the evening. So the members that participated in the DSO Honor Band, and they got to perform on the same stage as the Detroit Symphony Orchestra members do, are Sophia Terabesi, Grayson Stricker, Grant Moyer, and Lucas Oren Mitchell. Thank you. Have a seat. And the second honor band is a director-nominated band, but then there's a second step. There's actually a committee in our District 4 MSBOA who will then look at all of the recommendations, and they will pick. So even if I nominate, it doesn't necessarily mean that you're going to be selected for this honor band. So the students from West Hills that were selected and performed were Sophia Terabesi, Grayson Stricker, and Grant Moyer. Thank you. So now the Director's Award is an award given by Mr. Erdy and myself. Students who receive the 8th grade Director's Award demonstrate dedication to the band or orchestra program and concerts, demonstrate pride in the quality of their performance, and exemplify the leadership that benefits the entire ensemble. Their positive attitude and enthusiasm makes the whole group better. We recognize these students for their commitment and contributions to their ensemble. So the Director's Award for band goes to Grayson Stricker. Participated in all of those things I mentioned and jazz band in the morning. And you can stay standing. And then the Director's Award for orchestra is Max Triantafilidis. Congratulations to the 2 of you. You may be seated. And my final award is the MSBOA Scholar Instrumentalist Award. The Michigan School Band and Orchestra Association, or MSBOA, allows each music director to choose 1 ensemble member per school to receive the MSBOA Scholar Instrumentalist Award. This award recognizes students who achieve academically as well as musically. To be eligible, students must participate in at least 1 MSBOA event during the year. The MSBOA Scholar Instrumentalist Award for band goes to Grant Moyer. the MSK Scholar Instrumental Orchestra goes to Charlotte Louise Gaillard. Congratulations. You may be seated, and next I'd like to have Miss Solis come up.
Okay, let's see if we can do this without crying. So, I did write a few notes. Buenos dias, Senora Solis, for those that don't know me, and I just cannot imagine a better group to be our legacy group. And I'm kind of shooting from the hip, talking from the heart right now, because I didn't script everything. I'll try not to go too long, okay, 8th grade. But honestly, in my heart, I'm saying to you, this is such a top-notch, amazing group. They have made teaching, they've reminded me how teaching is a calling, not a job. They have reminded me how kind and collaborative young kids can be today. They remind me daily to put my best foot forward, to do my best, because they bring out the best in each other, and they bring out the best in all of us. And I cannot say that about any other group in this building in 17 years of teaching. So I'll try to stick to some of the notes. So this is a family, and it's really hard today to say goodbye to this family. I started, I think Mr. Purdy, I think we were 2006 I've been in this building. So it's been 17 years of my career here. Again, this is the legacy group that will be remembered forever. It began, I'm gonna take a little stroll down memory lane. It began in those little Brady Bunch Zoom screens. You know, as 6th graders, they were so amazing. They showed up, they participated, they kept their screens on like no other group. They continued to be positive and enthusiastic, even though we had really tough times that year. And that was the year that we got 2 first days of school, because the electives were on Zoom all year, and then right before spring break, we had our second first day of school. And I clearly remember saying, it's so weird to have a first day of school in the spring. It's always in the fall. So they made coming back to West Hills that year so special. Our typical, Rivera Court, Mexican Town Village field trip was postponed, but we got to do that, and we got to see the ofrendas, and we went as a collective, cohesive group as 7th graders, which was a total blast. We got to make our chocolate caliente and really enjoyed some of those traditions that have been such a part of West Hills, and you guys made it extra fun and extra sweet. So if you could take a quick moment to have every Spanish student in 8th grade stand up and give your parents a wave. They worked so hard. And I knew that, thank you so much, muchas gracias. I knew the 8th grade team would kill me, but what I really wanted to do was go down memory lane and say one comment about all of my students, because it was so hard to do honors this year. I scaled it down, and Mrs. Jones was like, are you kidding me? This is like 90% of your students. So I finally kept scaling it down until I came up with a criteria that was a 97% or above for all of 8th grade. So that was a tough criteria. So I'm going to ask for the following students to please stand, and can we just hold the applause till the end? Thank you. Nicholas Alkarawi, Simone Jasker, Anjani Jegasothi, Isaac Kaplan, Anya Mohi, Logan Newman, Max Triantafilidis, Omar Akras, Matthew Ben, Emily Barris, Ethan Franklin, Sophia Snyder, Logan Spagna, Ella Steibel, Sophia Chomina, Mitchell Weiss, Lucy Aguilar, Hannah Becker, Abby Glazer, Isabel Johnston, Carita Kales, Hamza Khan, Matias Manelli, Grant Moyer, Lucas Oram Mitchell, Grayson Stricker, Graham Teal, and Brady Winston. Amazing work, amazing communication, amazing collaboration, and such high standards that you guys have all year. no missing assignment. I mean, the list goes on, so bravo. And back to the familia. I just have to say, when I look out and I see our gemelos like Kyle and Bryce Lowe, our primos like Caden and Logan, Lily and Lexi, I mean, this is truly a familia. And Ali and Mimi. So this is truly a family. And I have one more honor that I'm going to come back to, but I just wanted to mention a couple more things, and then I'll be done. Again, with the cohesive, kind, imaginative, respectful, and fun group, I can't think of a better group to be the legacy class of West Hills. I also wanted to just finally recognize a student, and I gotta give a shout out to Adriana Fumia, because she brought all these dulces all year and stuffed our piñata, so we had a fun piñata day, our last day in Spanish. And other students like Chelsea Dallo, like we wouldn't have been able to act out our Agentes Secretos without you. Alyssa Greenhut, Izzy Dukes, Christian Banks, Zoe Brand for always bringing your A game. You guys have been awesome. And finally, this student, the highest Spanish award this year, goes to the one student who has been an incredible leader in our Spanish class, demonstrating excellence in communication, listening skills, speaking skills every day. Todos los días, ella habla en español. Every day she speaks in Spanish. She has made our classes so much more positive, so much more fun. And again, she reminds me of why I became a Spanish teacher. Why Spanish has been the love of my life, and how she brings the passion and enthusiasm each and every day to our classroom. So on that note, drum roll please. I'm going to ask that Ellie Ben Ezra stand up and take the highest Spanish award. So again, I could go on and on, but I won't. Alyssa, thank you for touching my heart, and all of you Beauty and the Beast cast members, I cried that morning probably 3 times watching you. I have the most amazing colleagues and the most wonderful students. So I love you guys, les amo muchísimo, and buena suerte, good luck with everything. I know you guys are all going to do amazing things. Gracias. And without further ado, Madame Potier.
Bonjour et bienvenue tout le monde. Welcome to our 8th grade ceremony. Je m'appelle Madame Potier. I am Mrs. Potier, and I have had the pleasure of teaching French with the 8th graders for 3 years. I wouldn't be here today if it wasn't for my awesome colleagues in the district. I'm supposed to be teaching over at Bloomfield Hills Middle School. I got out of my car this morning, and one of my colleagues pulled up, and I said, I'm missing some very special people this morning. They're graduating over at West Hills. She said, what are you doing here? I'll cover your classes. And so I have to thank Lisa Kaczynski and Rhonda Cooper, my colleagues over at BHMS, for allowing me to be here today. This is a family. I've been with the West Hills family almost going on 12 years, and I can't think of a better place to be. So thank you to all of you. Mes filles françaises, it has truly been a wonderful experience sharing French language and culture with you. It has been a journey. On roule. We roll through it, and in 6th grade, we met on Zoom. For the most part, it was our first time, with the exception of Charlotte, who had already been participating in French Voyageur Club since the beginning of 4th grade. On y va! She participated in songs and dances in the community, and we just had the best time. We had a photo up in our room, and all of the girls, les filles françaises, they were looking at the photo. Charlotte, was that you? And it was Charlotte. Thank you for all the community service you've done. You've been a real leader. Since we were rather cooped up at home in 6th grade, we decided to study pets, weather, nature, just outside our door and in the parks close by. Ora, Mashian, my dog, was joined also by Walter and Ed, Eva and Sophia Tay's dogs. And they even joined in our meetings from time to time to learn a little bit of French and review body parts. That's kind of a fun way. While studying nature and animal adaptations, we invented new species of animals, discovered les barrages des castors, beaver dams. I remember you inspired me to go out to Seven Ponds in Dryden and to record from there for Zoom. We sang songs and learned some dance steps. I can't go there. We participated at the end of the year in the Multicultural Festival. It felt so good after being on Zoom to be together in our circle dance and celebrating. In 7th grade, we went back to school and learned about the community around us. We discussed city life, directions, attended Junior French Festinama in the Pâtisserie, the French bakery. One of the highlights was learning how to play les échecs, practicing and having a tournament in French class. And for those of you that don't speak French, we learned how to play chess in class. Fahim, the character in the movie, would have been so proud of us. This year in 8th grade, we discovered pétanque, a game invented in Provence, the southern part of France. We learned all the rules in French and played all in French. This year, our goal was to learn about the many Francophone countries around the world while conducting an inquiry, all in French. Students shared presentations in our learning community. We learned a range of new vocabulary and interesting facts about geography, culture, nature, history, tourist attractions, and traditional recipes. We even tried some of those in class. Through our shared research, we traveled far and wide to many French-speaking countries and developed intercultural awareness. Merci beaucoup, les filles. You really took our inquiry and ran with it, above and beyond my expectations. Most of all, you have all been an inspiration. It has been fun creating stories and curriculum to share with all of you. We've had lots of laughs. You have accepted challenges to take risks to learn, practice, present in class, and share your learning with the community. I am so proud of your accomplishments and wish you many more adventures in French and in the Francophone world around you. On y va, on roule. You never know where the language and the possibilities will take you and what's awaiting you. Gardez la tête en haut, keep your head high. On roule, roll with it. I know you can do it. This year's winner of the Award of Excellence in French goes to a student who is diligent, kind, thoughtful, inquisitive, and creative. She encourages others and strives for excellence while contributing enthusiastically to our French learning community. Félicitations, Sophia Terabessi. Bravo. I would like to ask all of you, les filles françaises, to please join me after the ceremonies. I have a little something I want to share with you. À la prochaine.
Hello, good morning. So I'm just up here to do a weekend update for all of you. Just kidding. I did think of this as I was sitting down. I want all the students on the count of 3, you're gonna point north. 1, 2, 3, point north. It's unbelievable. It's that way, guys. Anyway, I've done that with individual classes, but never the whole group. So good morning, congratulations to not only the students, but the families of the students as well. I'm up here to recognize those students who are in clubs this year. It's so important to be involved in your community. I wrote a thesis back when I was taking my master's with Ms. Solis here about playing sports, being in clubs, and how important that is to help balance things when you're in school. I think it's very important that you get involved, you know. You make connections with other kids, teachers. It's just a great way when you go to school next year to make friends right out of the gates. So I really encourage you to do that. Be sure to join as many clubs as you can. I mean, they have an unlimited amount at the high school. Get involved. It also looks very good on your college applications. Well, I know that for a fact. So that doesn't hurt. With that said, let's recognize each of the clubs. Students, when you hear your club, please stand up, and then let's please hold off with the applause till the end for that club anyway. We'll start with Art Club. If you're in Art Club, stand up and face your family. She's an amazing artist, by the way. Thank you, Maddie. Chess Club. Forensics. Jazz Band. Math Counts. Movement and Mindfulness. Music Makers Club. Leadership. The Talent Show Club. And last but not least, Waveboard and Rec Club. Now Mr. Purdy will come up for sports.
All right, good morning. At this time, I have the pleasure of recognizing the students who participated in a school sport. Like Mr. Harrington mentioned, one of the best ways to get the most out of your middle school experience, or really any school experience, is to simply get involved. We ask our students to try sports and clubs, as Mr. Harrington had pointed out, even if it's something new for them. Middle school is a great opportunity to sample some different things, maybe things that you never thought you would see yourself trying, and just see what interests you the most and to just get involved. Being a scholar athlete teaches us so many valuable life lessons, whether it's learning to step outside of your comfort zone, learning to function as part of a team, managing practice and academic time constraints, experiencing the thrill of victory or handling the disappointment of defeat, and this is a big one, guys, overcoming the disappointment of not getting the playing time or the position that you thought you deserved, and learning to live for another day. These are all skills and experiences that will carry over into the rest of your lives and have enriched your overall middle school experience. So at this time, I'm going to recognize the students who participated in each season of sports. I will call out the season, then I'll list those sports. Please stand when you hear your sport and stay standing till the end of that season. Starting with fall, if you played football, please stand. Hold your applause to the end, please. Girls basketball, girls tennis, boys soccer, and cross country. Those are the fall athletes. You may be seated. Moving on to winter one, we have two winter seasons here at West Hills. Winter one is boys basketball. Please stand. Girls swimming and girls diving. Round of applause for winter one. You may be seated. Moving on to winter two, we have volleyball. Please stand. Wrestling, boys swimming, and boys diving. Round of applause. And then our largest sports season is spring. We have baseball, softball, track and field, girls soccer, boys tennis, girls lacrosse and boys lacrosse. Those are our spring sports. And just as a grand finale, if I could have anyone who stood during any of that to stand up one last time and turn around, just look at the vast number of people we had involved. Final round of applause for our scholar athletes.
Hi. Hello. I think I was really nervous, and that's why Douglas had to come and let me pet him. So thank you for all being here. I started at West Hills last fall, and I would just like to thank the 8th grade class for welcoming me from day one. As I've said in many other functions, and you might have already heard me say it, being a middle school counselor is my dream job. And they, like all the other teachers up here, have really reinforced why I do what I do. This class is just tremendously special to me, and I feel like I have built a relationship with every single one of the students sitting up here today. So I'm just feel really honored to have been their 8th grade counselor this year, and it feels a lot like when I graduated classes when I worked at a high school. So I'm feeling really emotional today, so I just would like to say that. So congratulations to the 8th grade class. And like I said, they've welcomed me with open arms as a counselor. I know I stepped into some big shoes with Mr. Castellani retiring, and I've just felt at home since I've arrived here. So I would like to talk about NJHS. We had about 55 students who were inducted a few weeks ago in our NJHS ceremony, and I just want to describe with a tremendous amount of pride what these students accomplished in order to become a member. They pledged to take the challenge of NJHS and show commitment and character and effort throughout their 8th grade year. They earned an average of a 3.5 GPA during their 8th grade year, earned high marks on their report card for citizenship and effort. They completed and documented additional service as action experience, and they completed a minimum of 500-word essay on resiliency and adversity, and these essays were so eye-opening, and they reflected a lot on how they've overcome various challenges. A lot of them reflected on COVID. Some of them reflected on grief and loss, as well as moving across the country or even to a different country and learning how to be a student again and learning how to make friends and how that can be a difficult process. And most importantly, they displayed consistently exemplary character throughout the entire school year. So anybody who is inducted into NJHS, please stand up and turn around so we can give a round of applause to them. Okay, I'm also here to talk about the School Service Award. When I call your name at the end, please come up and we'll get a picture of you. Okay. So with the School Service Award, these are students who showed an outstanding dedication to their school and helpfulness to their community. So when I was looking at students who would qualify for this award, 2 students popped into my mind, and then I reached out to the various 8th grade teachers, and without a doubt, both of these students were nominated and talked about with their helpfulness and the characteristics of initiation and tenacity. They are both great communicators, both to their peers as well as to teachers. They consistently always volunteer to help out. In fact, one of these students' parents volunteered them a few weeks ago, and you can just see that helpfulness and supporting the community is really embedded in their family. They both are a part of the No Place for Hate and are positive role models for younger students here in the building. The 8th graders here have a unique situations where they can work with 4th graders and they have a higher level of responsibility, I would say. They helped develop a anti-bullying and inclusivity activity for our students, ran in December, where they was very student-led and driven, and as 8th graders, they were leaders in that. Both of these students are kind and always make new students welcome. They're ones that we think about when we're pairing new students to come into the school. These students are incredibly involved in our sports and clubs, and you'll see when we call up the names that they were ones that have stood up quite a few times when Mr. Harrington and Mr. Purdy talked about those. These two students have strong groups of friends, but they're both very academically driven to succeed. They're extremely hard workers who know when to ask for help, which is such an important quality in a student because we don't know everything, and that's the job of a student, is to learn, and part of learning is asking for help. Both of these students participated in the musical. Ms. Pierre said that one of them, well, they both were very beyond helpful, and they were the first to step up to cover for absences and just be a team player throughout the whole thing. On top of being in the musical, one of them is very involved in the musical arts, including Music Makers Club and jazz band, and one of them consistently enjoyed Miss Solis Mindfulness and Movement Club early mornings on Thursdays, just there to support their fellow yogis. They have just dedicated their time here in middle school. They've just been a very two pillars of the 8th grade class. So I'd like to give a round of applause and have Sophia Tomina and Grant Moyer come up to accept the award.
So you both have a certificate waiting for you in your packet, but come on up here because, you know, we got to capture the moment. Have you guys stand here, face me so I can this is going to be like I know it's weird putting your back to the audience. Get a little closer together. There, it's going to work. All right, there we go. 1, 2, 3. Yeah, I'll get it to you, parents. Don't worry. Awesome. Turn around and be recognized.
Hello and welcome. I know it's been going on for a little bit, but I'm Mr. Smith, middle school phys ed teacher. I am up here to present the 2023 John Farrell Athlete Award. 8th grade, I've enjoyed the time we've spent together over the past 2 school years, although my lack of smiling would have never shown it, as most of you know. I know that I was new to West Hills last year. I felt very welcomed by you last year and also this year. And I thought that we had a very good school year this year with lots of activities. I've enjoyed hearing you complain during warm-ups and exercises, especially when Bring Sally Up or Thunderstruck is playing on the speaker. I've also enjoyed our conversations about how Uggs and slides and Crocs, even in sports mode, should be considered athletic shoes during PE class. I've had the privilege of watching you grow and develop your skills as they relate to sports and physical education, and I'm thankful for the opportunity to teach you for the past 2 years. Even if you don't pursue athletics in your future, I hope that you enjoyed your time during PE class at West Hills. I wish you guys all the best in your high school experiences, and make sure you enjoy every moment of it. When I think of an athlete, I don't just think of a skill level or their actual talent. There's a lot that goes into being an athlete. To me, an athlete is somebody who has a lot of determination, character, resilience, leadership, compassion, the strive to be better, make others around them better, and become the best at what they do. There's a large number of students at West Hills that fit this criteria, which made the decision of choosing only 2 athletes for this award very difficult. Mrs. Parcell and myself went back and forth many times with our extensive list of students the days before we chose our winners. It is my pleasure to present the John Farrell Award to Isabel Johnson and Joshua Burkett.
photo op. Grab the plaques here. Here, why don't we'll get a little backdrop here real quickly. And take a moment to do this. I know there's one. Here we go. 1, 2, 3. And then why don't the two of you take the plaque and let's do the same thing where you awkwardly put your back to the audience. Right here.
Don't fall off the stage.
There we go. Awesome. Thank you. Congratulations. Thank you, Mr. Smith. The plaques will be here after the ceremony, too, for parents to get photo ops there. And I think I'm calling up Mrs. Van Gemmert and Mr. Burkholz. Is that right? For the Chapman Award.
Each year, the Bruce Chapman Award is given to 2 students that embody the bold quality of being able to stay true to oneself regardless of the pressures put upon us from society. They don't always go along with what is perceived to be cool or popular, but rather what makes them happy and also making the West Hills community a better place. Both winners have had their names engraved on a plaque, and typically that plaque would remain in the West Hills lobby, but we're still not sure exactly what will happen to it after today, but it makes for a nice photo op. And at the top of the plaque is the E.E. Cummings quote, "To be nobody but yourself in a world which is doing its best night and day to make you everybody else means to fight the hardest battle which any human being can fight." So I have the honor to award our male winner. He's one of the most genuine and caring students myself and the team have ever had the privilege of having in class. Almost every day, he will ask you how you are doing or how your weekend was, and he listens intently and truly cares about the answers you are giving, and oftentimes will have follow-up questions to learn more. When subs are in the building, you will see him actively trying to build a relationship with that person and to make them feel welcomed in our school. He is a loyal friend to many and would do anything for them. With all of this, he is also a dedicated student and works diligently to get all assignments done and perform at his best each and every day. And I can't forget, he is an avid fan of Douglas, and you will see him being sweet and welcoming with Douglas throughout the day. For these reasons and more, it is my pleasure to announce the final male winner of the West Hills Chapman Award to Hamza Khan. Hamza Khan is the stage. Probably toward the end of the show. Mrs. Van Gemmert will present our next award.
Why don't you come stand down here? We'll make you stand down here for a moment and hold that award. Put it on display for everyone to see while Mrs. Van Gemmert reads
So the Chapman Award is basically the West Hills version of the Independent Spirit Award, and this year's female winner definitely captures its essence. They are always in a good mood, they're kind, compassionate to all of their classmates, but they also have no problem advocating for themselves or others or asking difficult questions. They demonstrate a thirst for knowledge, the joy of discovery, and boundless enthusiasm for whatever they're interested in, whether it's traditionally cool or not. She is someone who authentically follows her joy and never ends her day without telling her teachers to have a good night. It's for these reasons and many more that we proudly give this award to Eva Van Bolden.
Hand it to you for a moment here. And then we're going to get the two of you together. Now the two of you together there. There we go. Kind of put it in between you. Kind of like both get your hands on it. There we go. Good. Awesome. Now you got to pivot. You got to do this. This is what we do. Rotate around here. You've seen it done a couple times.
Back to the audience.
I know. We don't rehearse these things. These are all surprises. Here we go. Looking at me. 1, 2, 3. Awesome. Congratulations. You good? You want me to?
All right, and with that, we are going to move to the presentation of certificates. 8th graders, just a reminder as you walk across the stage, if you happen to accidentally get the wrong folder, just take it and have a seat. We can sort it out when we're done. Audience, we do ask that you hold your applause until all of the names have been read so everybody can hear their name read. All right. Let's, I'll take them.
Holding his leash, is that okay?
Dougie, can you? First row. Sure. Come on, buddy. Hold on. All right, are we ready? Andy, you ready? Good, yeah. Okay. Arman Agajuni. Again, we do ask we hold our applause until all the names have been read. Lucy Aguilar. Omar Akras. Nicholas Al-Qarawi. Mohammed Al-Mugarbal. Yasmin Amori. Chase Baggett. Nathan Bach. Frank Baca. Celeste Baker. Christian Banks. Luna Badir. Lily Beck. Hannah Becker. Matthew Ben. Mimi Ben Ezra. Ellie Ben Ezra. Emily Barris. Maddie Buttrell. Zoe Brand. Josh Burkett. Jack Canine. Caden Cherkasky. Sophia Chakurian. Ellie Connolly. Chelsea Dallow. Michael DeAngelis. Alexander Data. Pablo Del Val. Landon Dewar. Isabella Dukes. Noam Ellis. Isabella Elzon. Adriana Fumia. Jonah Frank. Ava Friedman. Charlotte Gaillard. Caden Garner. Lola George. Michael Jurgis. Abby Glazer. Alyssa Greenhut. Ella Gripton. Mariah Hall. Rasha Hamoud. Oliver Hilberry. Myron Hubert. Daniel Ilsar. Bailey Jacobs. Simone Jasger. Anjani Jagasothi. Isabel Johnston. Kara Kales. Isaac Kaplan. Christiana Karditsas. Hamza Khan. Luis Lessman. Bryce Lowe. Kyle Lowe. Pedro Marquez. Eliza Mercado. Alexis Migliori. Anya Mohe. Matthias Manelli. Grant Moyer. Logan Newman. Lily Nevetsky. Lucas Orem Mitchell. Aiden Orman. Juliana Owens. Dominic Parker. Lucas Romero. Jenna Roth. Adam Ruzala. Haley Sanders. Evan Shaham. Sasha Shepard. Max Sherman. Olivia Shoha. Isaac Smolitsky. Sophia Snyder. Logan Spagna. Channing Spencer. Zev Spiegel. Grayson Stricker. Ella Steibel. Graham Teal. Sophia Terabisi. Sophia Tomina. Max Triantafilides. Eva Van Bolden. Dianksha Vishnu Sundaram. Mitchell Weiss. Brady Winston. Ari Wolf. Olivia Young. Anthony Youssef. And Drew Zusel. Ladies and gentlemen, I present to you the final graduating class, the West Hills class of 2023.
All right, 8th grade, I'm going to ask you to stand and face the audience just real quickly. They all want to get a good look at you. Incredible group of kids. And I'm going to try something. 4th row, just 4th row, would you sit down? 4th row, sit down for a minute. Just 4th row. 3rd row, stay standing in. 2nd and 1st, there you go, because now, see, that's what parents know what I'm doing right now. They know what I'm doing. 3rd row, would you grab a seat now? And if you didn't seize the opportunity, parents, that's on you. I'm giving it to you here. 2nd row, there we go. Good, good, good. 2nd row, be seated. There we go. And our 1st row, stay standing, stay standing. There it is. And 1st row, go ahead and grab a seat if you would, please. Thank you. That's the first time we've done that, but I think, photo ops. There you go. Wow, so what an amazing celebration of all of you to see how many kids were standing and being recognized for such a wide array of experiences and opportunities here at West Hills. This really is a great way to go out. It's emotional, but it's tears of, the tears come from the level of enjoyment and appreciation that you have for something. And so that's what's made it so hard to wrap things up this year, is that it's been just such an incredible ride. I look out at all the families that we've bonded over the years. I just have so much appreciation for this community. Half my life has been spent at Lone Pine and Middle Belt. So 23 years either at Lone Pine or West Hills. And I just really want to say thank you. Thank you for helping me grow up, But really, West Hills class of 2023. West Hills class of 2023. It's about these kids. I am proud, honored, and filled with gratitude to have been a part of your journey these past 5 years. I'd like to take one more moment just to recognize our class of 23. So a round of applause for them one more time. And as our ceremony concludes, we did make them, bell to bell. There is no cell, so I think hopefully they followed that. Most of them have their cell phones in their lockers right now. As the ceremony concludes, we're going to invite the families and guests to join your child on the front porch of West Hills, right outside these doors, for those coveted final photos. Thank you for coming today, and once again, congratulations, and students, you are dismissed.